Hi, readers. I'm so glad that you're here. It's 11 Goddess, and I'm bringing you another episode and another review. And today we're going to start our latest journey of bringing our book club into the virtual realm. I'm going to include some elements, as you'll see in the visuals as we talk about this book. We've grown so much together on this journey, and I always want to celebrate where we're headed. So I always want to make sure I put my best foot forward. So, welcome to this episode. I want to let you know that the books here have been read, selected for discussion, and brought to you as poignant reviews. So, without further ado, let's get started. I made sure, like, I'm not even done with this, and I wanted to do this review. So, bear with me because I have a lot to say about our selection entitled Mia and Korum, the complete Krinar Chronicles trilogy. This is an audiobook narrated by Roberto Scarlato, and it's written by Anna Zaires and Dima Zales, I believe is how you would pronounce her name. And in written form, according to what I see on my favorite reference site, this is 800 pages when you look at all three combined. I have about 5 hours left in book three, but I needed to take a break and take a moment and let you in on this particular journey. Now, it starts in its review by saying it's dark passion, betrayal, danger, and love. Keep that in mind because I'm sure that's what I saw when I said, "Ooh, I want to read this. I want to see what's going on here." So, okay, we're in a future where Earth has now sharing its planet, its space, with an alien race known as the Krinar. The Krinar have come to Earth to coexist peacefully among humans so that they can exist on this planet. It is a space that they can inhabit and want to comfortably be here. But of course, human beings, we don't trust you. We don't trust it. And so it's a rough transition. But they inhabit colonies. They pretty much keep to themselves, but they are not human. They have technology so far beyond what humans are capable of. And in many ways, the Kree sort of consider human beings to be primitive, for lack of a better word. So they do try to coexist, but they don't necessarily share their advancements and all the things that they have, can do, and have available to them. They do sparse out a few things here and there to keep humans satisfied, but overall, people have no idea why they have to coexist with this alien species. And they're right to feel trepidatious. So we have Mia, who is a college student. And one day she's sitting in the park and she happens to look up and see, according to the way that the Krinar have human form, she looks over and sees this Krinar that is the finest thing she has ever seen. Period. End of sentence. OMG, where did you come from? But he's looking back at her, and she's like, "Ooh, what? Why is he looking at me? Is he going to eat me?" There's a rumor that the Kreenar are vampires. So now she's feeling some type of way. She starts to get her stuff, but now he's moving toward her, and she's like, "Okay, okay, I'll play cool. Just gonna be polite. I was raised right. I'll talk to him." This jumps into another chance meeting where she's now kind of freaking out that this alien keeps popping up. But he's not just popping up because apparently you're my mate and I'm drawn to you and I'm feeling you. So guess what? I'm your new boyfriend. Now, the rest of the human race is not pleased that they exist, let alone that a human would date a Kreenar. It's unheard of. It's unacceptable. So there's this faction of humans that are trying to put together a plot to deal with the Kreenar. And they even have Kreenar sympathizers on their team. Korum, our leading male here, it's not your typical, it's not your average Kreenar. Quorum, in fact, is one of the head Kreenars. He's the dude next to the dude that makes decisions about all the dudes. Okay, keep that in mind. Because every time they try to run up on Quorum, they fail beautifully. And they fail consistently. But now, because Mia's in his life, she gets caught up in it. On top of which, Apparently, this attraction is so intense that he is banging her like crazy every day, a couple of times a day. I'm surprised the girl can see straight. Then there's the scene as we get into book two where she's got to come out and publicly admit that she is, in fact, dating this alien and she has to tell her parents. Her mother freaks completely out. She starts crying and swearing, "Oh Lord, what's going to happen to my baby?" The father asks very specific and poignant questions. Um, and then they all meet. And because Korum comes with gifts, it's like you're dating a rich guy and he brings everybody a car. So somehow or another, they find it within themselves to accept him. Same thing, except he brought tech and a couple of remedies to help folks out. So we now have the family on board. Problem is, we still have some issues that Corum is that guy. Because unbeknownst to him, when you get to book three, Corum's got a hater. And his hater is feeling some type of way that you feeling all this happiness. You walking around smiling all the time, and you gave your girl access. Who is this girl? What's really good, I really want to know, how come her? So instead of watching Corum so he can set him up to do bad things, he starts looking at Mia. This leads to, of course, Mia being captured because he tells Mia, "Girl, I think I want to be with you, but he met you first. So we got to get rid of him so you could be with me." And she gives him the yuck face. "I'm not trying to do all that. And I was just over here trying to learn some things. I didn't know you felt that way, and I'm not feeling you like that." What does he do? I feel like I would give a spoiler. Let me back up. He does something so typically haterish that, oh, when it happens, you almost want to help Corum make it right. So he does something that is completely off the charts awful. And he gets to get away when all things sort of confront and address the fact that you have ill intentions toward me. Now, again, I am not done with this. I'm only sharing with you that I have gotten this far in this book. I have laughed more than ever that I thought imaginable in a what's supposed to be serious romance novel. I cannot, I cannot take this seriously. First and foremost, I can't take Mia seriously. She's by book three put in a position to still be like, "You're an alien. You don't drink blood, do you? Are you going to hurt me?" Seriously, by book three, this is still happening. Two, you have Corum. Dude, I get it. I get it. You found your girl. But you didn't have to twist her up like that. And when you read this, should you read this? In book one, the way he twists her up is unacceptable. I mean, if you're not human, you kind of acting out of pocket here. Learn some human things before you proceed. And I would say by book three, I think he recognizes, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna do better. So there is some growth in this character. In Mia, I don't see growth. What I see is somebody who is being led, according to the way she is written, more by hormone than rationale. She does not deal in the factual things that are happening around her. She's constantly reacting to what she heard, what she thinks, the rumor mill, those that want to do quote unquote what's right without ever saying, "Let me sit down and do some research. Let me find out some things. Let me ask a few questions." She never does that. She never does that. So I'm supposed to believe this girl winds up in peril. Yeah, okay. And then there's the whole cohabitation with aliens, where by nature humans are suspicious. And when you think you're at the top of the food chain and then you suddenly realize you're not even close, how does that then translate into coexisting when you have such capability and technology that not only could you have taken the planet, you could have taken it and rid yourself of the nuisance of having to even deal with human pettiness? What was the win in why you would say, "Yay, we're going to keep the human race around. They're great for decoration"? I don't see it because they keep trying to kill Krinar. So if you have the capacity to deal with this situation, I'm not understanding why you're not dealing with it. And lastly, there is this interspecies benefit. One that if it got out that dating an alien did this for you, a lot of them would be in more relationships with humans because I truly believe as many swag chasers as there are out there, let them chase immortality. Oh, you talk about a whole nother level. That's swag on a whole nother level. So I had to stop where I was at. Again, I only have a couple more hours. I'm going to finish this. I'm sure we'll have the unmitigated goal to be a happily ever after. Don't even ask me how this book had the nerve to get to that point. I have too many questions about what's wrong versus what's right with this book. And even in suspending belief, and you look at this for what it is. She meets a hot alien. She's just an average girl, and she's trying to be a good person in her family and live in a righteous way on behalf of humankind. But let me bring to everyone's attention today's date is November the 6th, 2024. So I'm not making the connection. But be that as it may, I am going to finish this journey. I may actually even go back at some point and clarify some things that I'm trying to understand about these species of super beings, because they actually claim some incredible things that they have done in terms of affecting the human race that are fascinating to me. And I really would like to stop laughing long enough to sort of delve deeper into that, because this particular author, I've read other books by this author. They don't write comedy romance. I don't know why I can't stop laughing. I even made up the goofiest song. I am not going to sing it. I am above that. I'm better than that. But I did. I don't want to do that. So when I finish, I'm just going to take a break. Let's stop laughing. I even have my husband laughing at it. Not cool. That's not what's supposed to happen. I'll do better. But if I had to rate this book, I would probably give it um, 2 out of 5. I would give it some snaps, because if in terms of getting lost in something that absolutely takes you away from reality, kudos. But this book leaves more questions than it should when you have a complete series from beginning to end that starts and ends with this couple, because apparently it's going to end with them as a couple. Like I said, happily ever afters. The only reason no, I shouldn't say that. That's not the only reason I love romance novels, but it's one of the top 5. Close it out, make it neat, make it go away, so I can move on to the next book. I hope that this review was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed putting the brakes on and swinging over and doing this. And I will be doing more of these. In the middle of a book, I may have to stop and speak on something, because I want to talk about 3 books I've shut down in the last month because they just, no, no, no. So I'm probably going to dedicate an episode to Unacceptable for the club. But if that's what you feeling, far be it from me to yuck your yum. That's what you like. That's what you like. But that's how I feel about this particular read. And I'm glad that you were here for it. So, in closing, in the meantime and in between our time together, let's leave the focus on what books are out there and return with a great read. Now, close this meeting with a bookmark. And until we meet again, friends, happy reading.
Ini dapat dihukum, baik bagi kebayangku. Ya, 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 blast,